Cinematic videos. Everybody wants to have them. But what's the actual process of getting there? What does it mean to record in a cinematic way, to have cinematic lighting, or to have cinematic edits? Well, in today's video we are gonna answer all of those questions and show you exactly how making cinematic videos got me tens of thousands of views. So let's go over to step 1, recording. Let me show you on the phone exactly how I've made my setup. I'm gonna show you my exact home studio that I've made. Very easy to make and gets super good results. So first, my camera, it's a Sony FX3, and as you can see, it's a 24-70 f2.8 from Sigma, and I usually set it to 50 millimeters towards there. And I have a simple key light here that I point always towards my face, so I'm more illuminated, and one that fills in the background nicely. And on the light on the other side with some props on the other side as well. And usually behind me is the computer that I have the mic connected to, so I have actually good audio. One important thing when actually building your setup, as you can see actually on my camera, I've made sure to have that green thingy in the background centered, and actually that's the farthest away. Then I have the light, and then the desk, and then myself, so there's a bit of depth and separation that makes things look better. That's the basis of the setup, nothing too complicated. I'll put on the screen now some like basic lighting setups that you can screenshot and use later. This is basically all you need to start it out and to give you some settings on the camera. First, your aperture, like smallest as possible, so your blur, background blur is as big as possible basically. Shutter speed should be double your frame rate. So I'm at 30 frame rates, so my shutter speed is 1.60. And for the ISO, what I do is have it till I'm a bit overexposed, because I care about more retaining the quality of the highlights than the quality of my shadows. Because black, you don't care about like seeing all the details. Like either way, my shirt is pretty dirty here. So yeah, that's about it. Recording. Let me go back to the camera and tell you more. So the first step is just to link up your camera, or if you have a mic, to the sound of the mic. So to get your Premiere to look something like this, go to workspaces and go to color. Another thing we should do is just go to window, and let's make sure we see Lumetri scopes here. Now, the first thing we should do is just keep in mind what your actual background looks like in real life. Like look at the colors a bit and try to remember how it looked like, because you will actually need it. So we make it actually look like real life as much as possible. The first step in color grading is always to color correct your footage. Basically just make sure it looks super clean right now. So the first thing I always do is just fix my temperature and make sure the skin color looks alright. As you can see here, I play with the tint here to fix my skin color. Let's see how normally it looks from the camera. So usually humans are a bit more red. We actually have like a lot of blood in our faces. So I just increase the tint tiny bit towards the red. Then the temperature, I try to make it look balanced. Maybe you can actually, if my wall is white, so if I just click on it, it should just make the wall white, since this just makes everything you put on white. For example, my eye makes it white, but in this case I'll just select the wall and I'll go back to the tint and put it back to 5. Cool. Now, as you can see here, whenever we do the color, I like to look at the Lumetri scopes as well. Here is basically our image. As you can see, if I move my hand, you see something move here. So the image is overexposed, since here and here, but I don't really care. The light, even in real life, is super bright there, so I don't really care. I'll actually just increase the brightness because I want my face to be as clear as possible. And in real life it's actually pretty bright, I think, from the key lamps that I have. Now for the saturation, I like to have it a bit more saturated here. I think it's a personal choice. I like to have it like that. And looking at the image, I see I think it's still not red enough. Yeah, something like this. Now, what I like to do, but here is not an issue. For example, you might think like the color green is too bright. What I do is go to curves, hue and saturation, select the green, just make the green bit natural. Yeah, it's green but not so powerful in real life, something like that. Now what I like to do as a pop thingy, just put a bit of vignette just to appear like everything looks more in the center. And here what you can play with is just the creative. I actually like this CineSpace, that's basic Adobe, and I put it like 12. You can see it basically adds the cinematic look, and I just put like the theme fade, put it softly like 10. To make the shadows appear more real, you can make them more blue and the highlights more yellow. For me, I think that's it about the color. If I look at it, looks pretty good. Maybe what I don't like is like my face kinda looks a bit pale. I think in real life I'm more like this. So yeah, we went from this to this now. And another thing you should do is drag your guides, make sure your face is centered. I think I recorded a bit wide in to my taste, and also it looks like I recorded somehow my camera is not perfectly straight. My tripod, sorry. So I just fix that so the table looks even on each side. And that's about it for our color and image. And I will just copy, paste attributes, select the motion, the zoom in and the lumetri. And here I might done it 2 times. And yeah, that's the basic way to do it. Now let me show you actually how to sound cinematic. So let's hear how it sounds now.
Cinematic videos. Everybody wants to have them. But what's the actual process of getting there? What does it mean to...
Sounds pretty good. So what you will do is, let's actually go back to our editing space. So what you will do is audio track mixer. We'll make our voice pop a bit. With these simple settings usually works on all microphones. Multi-band compressor on the first audio layer. Select broadcast, threshold, put -5 or -4 and leave this. Now special, mastering, not bring hype, make room for vocals, peaking enable -2 and reverb, let's put 4. And last thing, to make sure our voice doesn't peak and it's not like doesn't sound broken, just put a hard limiter. I put it to -3 and that's it.
Cinematic videos. Everybody wants to have them. But what's the actual process of getting there? What does it mean to record?
Yeah, as you can see, like my voice just...
have cinematic lighting or to have cinematic edits. Well, in today's video we are gonna answer all of those questions and show you exactly how...
Yeah, the whole edit just feels so much better. Audio is so important. And now let me show you how I make the simple cinematic edits that I use for this intro to be able to edit. I will edit all of it right after I record this, so I make it a lot cleaner, but let me show you exactly how I do it. So I have this plugin that I've made with all of my assets inside of it. Like I have backgrounds, cinematic backgrounds, for example, if I want to show you. These backgrounds just fit perfect in all cinematic edits that I make all the time. All of them are super clean, super cinematic, and I've made sure to have everything customizable. So if you go into the properties, you can just select any of your backgrounds and color, change the colors to anything basically, and now just change the colors, or you can just change the backgrounds. I made it so you can add depth through the shapes like we did on the lighting to make sure I'm more in front than the stuff in the back, so we actually get that blur. I made it with the backgrounds, and I have sound effects, like a ton of them for everything I need. And most importantly, I have these animation presets that are made for cinematic edits and literally any edits because they are fully customizable. So how I do it, just double click and
There. What does it
basically the edit's done here. So let's actually
cinematic videos.
look. Let's go into layer controls and move it down a bit
Cinematic video.
and just change the text to, and for example I will change to the Apple font. Just boom, I'm done.
Cinematic videos.
And I will just use, for example, a simple fresh transition that I have. All I have to do is drag and drop at the middle and change the blending mode from normal to screen. And now we already have this.
Cinematic videos. Everybody wants to.
We can transition, for example, a full screen animation. Let's add the text as well. Go through this. An overlay with the check mark. And let's type everyone wants to have cinematic videos. And all I have to do is change my background. I just changed to this one. And now let me render quickly and show you what I've built in like the whole sequence that I edited in like literally like 2 minutes or whatever this video.
Cinematic videos. Everybody wants to have them. But
So,
cinematic videos. Everybody wants
I
to
have
have
super complex animations that would take hours in like literally seconds on my screen, and I have tons of them. iMessage, as you can see, we can make these smaller or bigger, like put a timer in the corner or like have the follow button here, or like any customizable transition with your logo inside of it. Like there's a bunch of stuff there. I have a link in the description below where you can learn everything about this plugin. I hope this shows you exactly how to make your videos cinematic, and let me know below if you have any questions. I will be super happy to answer them, and till next time, peace.